All those tricks I learned how to do with the yo-yo back in elementary school are finally paying off. All thanks to Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo, a new game from the developer Pocket Trap that was published by PM Studios Inc. on May 28, 2025. This top-down action-adventure game has a heavy emphasis on the Metroidvania style of gameplay with a pixel art-based design, taking inspiration from The Legend of Zelda and the early era of handheld games. In it, you play as Pippet, the youngest member of the Pipistrello family who has a goal of becoming famous through his tricks and skill at using a yo-yo. He comes back to the Pipistrello mansion for his annual visit with his auntie, Madame Pipistrello, and to see how the family is doing, but finds the mansion is under attack. The Pipistrello family has had a monopoly on the power going to the city, and the rival companies across the city are fed up with it. So using a device made by Madame Pipistrello herself, they absorb her soul into 4 mega batteries. With these mega batteries, powered by Madame Pipistrello's soul, they are capable of wielding unlimited power that they can take advantage of. But Pippet intervenes and tries to stop it, ending up leaving a part of her soul trapped inside his yo-yo. The two then go through the city, fighting the different rival companies in order to get the mega batteries back from them, in order to recover Madame Pipistrello's soul and bring her back to life. It's a fun story that's very reminiscent of the old school classic games that I remember playing when I was growing up. Each mega battery is held by a different owner of a company that is tired of the control Madame Pipistrello had over them, each representing a different industry that has been overtaken by greed of the person running it. Like a construction company that is mining directly under the city for materials and crystals they are passing off as diamonds, that is using the power of the mega battery in order to dig even faster without taking any breaks. Or my personal favorite one, which is a marketing and sales manipulator running a fan expo that's using the mega battery in order to keep running 24/7, where the owner has given the main area to the large electronic companies and crypto scams that are willing to pay for that front spot, and leaving the artist alley hidden away in the back behind all kinds of obstacles. The game has a fun commentary in all these industries and how greed has taken them over. It's especially fun with the dialogue between Pippet and Madame Pipistrello as they go through these different industries, and Madame Pipistrello is appalled on how the mega batteries are being abused, showing her own greed with holding a monopoly on the power for the city and charging insane amounts for it, as well as her lament for being trapped inside a yo-yo and being used as such. Because while Pippet knows some yo-yo tricks, having one with the soul of his auntie allows him to do some new tricks as he progresses through the game. As you navigate through the levels, you'll come across different enemies and obstacles on your path to the mega batteries that will require you to use your yo-yo to attack enemies in a multitude of ways, which you can actually use angled walls to bounce your yo-yo off in order to attack enemies through corners or collect items in narrow passageways. And as you learn new moves, you can change the ones that you're using for combat, like a parry move that can deflect projectiles back toward the enemy, or an around-the-world attack where you can swing your yo-yo around you in a circle, hitting enemies and knocking them back. As you'd expect, a lot of the moves you can learn are actually named after real yo-yo tricks, which is one of the small details you come to expect from this game, but it still adds a lot of fun to it. And the commentary between Pippet and Madame Pipistrello as they get inspired by new tricks is a lot of fun, as they get inspired by seeing attacks or moves from enemies and start using them themselves, until you can finally make it through the stage and get to the boss fight, where each boss fight is unique from that area in the game, and you have to learn their different moves and attack patterns to take them down, typically using moves you learned in that area, which some of these boss fights are hard to get through, and you might be retrying them a couple times in order to finally defeat them. There were plenty of times during these boss battles where I was just 1 or 2 hits away from winning before I died. But with some patience and using all your moves at your disposal, all the boss fights are well within the realm of possible to defeat. In true Metroidvania fashion, as you start getting toward the end of the game, the moves you learn get added into the puzzles you will come across. And some of these challenges with the puzzles get a little bit insane, as you have to combo different moves together in order to get across gaps or through puzzle areas, which also leads to a lot of backtracking as you go through the same area multiple times in order to go to areas that were previously locked due to not having the movesets for them yet. But luckily, a lot of that is optional in order to collect containers for upgrades for your health, new badges for moves, and additional badge power. Although you might want to go back and get those if you have the chance, because they will come in a lot of handy throughout the game, especially in the cases of those extra badges. Badges are a way to give you some added help in the game, like making it so you don't take damage when you fall off a cliff or into water the first time in a section of the map. While not a necessity to have, they are extremely helpful to use if you can find them. And with 40 different badges to collect, there's a lot of different playstyles you can incorporate with them to help you through the game. But you will have a lot of exploring to do in order to find them all. There's a whole lot to this game, and I absolutely love it. There were plenty of times where I did get stuck on a boss or a puzzle in this game, but I was eventually able to finally overcome it and win. The difficulty of this game is a bit high at times, but it plays that difficulty well without being seen as a cheap way to extend the game. Instead, the difficulty comes from how complex the game eventually gets, with all the different moves, obstacles, and enemy types that get thrown at you as the game gets toward the end, making for the perfect use of the Metroidvania style of games people have come to love. And this might be one of my favorite Metroidvania games I have played. The multitude of moves you can learn to navigate the map make every puzzle cross feel unique, especially when it starts chaining the different moves in order to get around, as well as the optional moves you can equip that can allow you to adapt the playstyle to whatever you prefer, which you can change at any time to finish areas of the game where those moves come in handy. And I especially love the fact that these moves also make a lot of pop culture references, like a yo-yo move inspired by the hit manga 100 Punches Man, a clear reference to One Punch Man. These little references are scattered throughout the game and are a joy to come across. I love playing games where you can tell the developers had a lot of fun making the game, and Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo is one of those games. Overall, I give Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo a 5 out of 5. I had a lot of people tell me I needed to play this game, and I am so glad I listened to them. I, however, did not think I was going to enjoy this game as much as I did, as I'm typically not big into Metroidvania games. But this one overcame that very quickly. From the moment I started the game, I had a ton of fun with it, and honestly couldn't pinpoint what I liked more between the gameplay, the story, or the puzzles. It all just blends together perfectly. If any of the things I mentioned in this review seem interesting to you, I highly recommend checking out this game. It is one of my favorite games I played this year so far, and I cannot express that enough. And if you played the game, I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you agree with me? Do you have a different opinion of the game? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this review and want to see more, click that like button and subscribe. If you have suggestions for other games you think we should play, let us know as well. Until next time, this has been Brad with the Bickering Nerds.